Hey everybody, this is Ryan's Rockin' Reviews here, and today we're going to be reviewing the Star Wars The Black Series, The Last Jedi Kylo Ren. So taking a look at the Kylo Ren figures packaging, it's the same Black Series packaging that they've had since Force Awakens a few years ago. It has changed a little bit, like the Star Wars logo is a little more white than it used to be, but this has been there for a while. This window's smaller on the side, and there's no window on top. Like here, let me, 1 second. I have a package from, I can't find my package right now, but I have a package from Force Awakens, and yeah, you can tell the difference. But yeah, let's get this guy opened up and... So here's Kylo Ren out of the packaging, and I feel like this is a lot better than the previous Black Series Kylo Ren, and also the unmasked Kylo Ren. And let's just take off his cape. If you look at his head, here, try to get it to focus. Yeah, let me just. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Yeah, there. It's a lot better than the unmasked head. I don't have that one right now, but I did look at it earlier today. But I don't have it right now, but it looks a lot better than that one. The skin tone, I have to say, is a lot better on this figure than the unmasked one. And I feel like the face is really good. The scar came out really good. I do say I don't like that his lips are kind of pink, and I also feel like his hair should be more of a black than a brown than what we see, because I feel like it's more of a black. But the sculpt is really nice on this. It's got a nice grid pattern on the torso and on this little piece, and he's even, like, if you look here, a little slot there, and we'll get to what that is later. But it's 100% of a new sculpt. Like, I thought maybe the legs were reused and the arms, but I looked at it earlier today, and no, they're not. The feet, I think the feet look a little weird. I almost like the Black Series from Force Awakens one more, because this is very skinny, and in the Force Awakens one, it looked a lot better, and I just think it'd be a lot better if you swapped out the lower legs for that. But another thing is that his pants are brown, and I think they should be more of a black. But yeah, the panel sculpting on the side is really good, and yeah, just a really good sculpt. So let's take a look at his. So here are Kylo Ren's accessories, and he has a cape that is very pliable, and it also reminds me a lot of the Director Krennic cape, what they should have done for that. So you can see this one's very stiff, and it's like stiffer to. Yeah, I can hear that noise, and this one is very pliable. It's like I just really like the plastic they used on this compared to the Krennic one. But taking a look at his lightsabers, he's got his normal 3-bladed lightsaber that came out with the unmasked one that's like doesn't have like this weird separated blade. And I have to say this is the best plastic used on a Black Series lightsaber Kylo Ren. Because if you look at the other ones, they're more of like a foggy, clear plastic red, and they kind of look like. They don't look that good. They don't look that realistic. But this is the best lightsaber, I think, for Kylo Ren in the Black Series. And he also comes with a lightsaber without the lightsaber blade on it. And you see that it's got like a little clip there. And it's also on this one, but that doesn't really matter on this one. See, I'll show you the clip. Yeah, the clips don't really matter. But the clip for this is actually, so if you look at this, like I was talking about earlier, on the side of Kylo Ren, he's got a little spot, and you take that little clip, and you just clip that right in there, and it stays on pretty good. I haven't had any issues with it falling off. And if for some reason, if you want to, you can put this one on for some reason. I think just because that's what it's like in the movie, but yeah. So there's Kylo Ren's accessories. So let's take a look at Kylo Ren's articulation. I just took off the cape because it's better to just articulate him without the cape than put the cape on. So take a look at the neck articulation. It goes down pretty decent amount, and then it goes back not that far because the hair kind of hinders it. Yeah, it really doesn't go back at all, just a tiny bit. And his shoulders go out pretty far to a full 360. They can't go completely straight up because of his little shoulder armor, but you can go out to the side a little bit. He's got swivel at the elbow, and this is my favorite part. His single joints are really good. He got that new, like whatever Hasbro's doing, I'm really glad what they did. This is a normal single joint, so we go about like here 90 degrees or less. This single joint almost has the same capacity, or yeah, same use as a double jointed elbow. Here, let's get a Marvel Legends right here and double joint it all the way. That's actually better than most, about the same as most buggy cap Marvel Legends figures. So it's a really good single joint that also works as a double joint, and his hands swivel. This is the same on both sides, and they hinge down, the side to side swivel, and up. They move up a decent amount. Not that much, I guess. The glove cuff kind of hinders it, but yeah, it's good for the lightsaber poses. His diaphragm joint does a full swivel. It's like full swivel. It goes side that much, and the other side a little less. It goes forward that far. It's not that far, but it's good enough. It goes back pretty far, but I do notice that the skirt piece kind of hinders it. His legs a little hindered by the skirt because there's only one slit here, but yeah, you can see in there he's got the full hips, so he can go out that far with the skirt. He's got a swivel at the thigh, double jointed knees. Double jointed knees. The feet go up this much. Oh, here. If you go up this much, they go down pretty far. He does have an ankle pivot, and let's see what he looks like. The furthest he can go with the ankle pivots and the skirt hindering it. Yeah, it doesn't go that low just because the skirt hinders it. He would be able to go down a lot further if that skirt was a little more pliable or had more slits on the side, but I think it would have ruined the sculpt a little bit. So I can see why they did that. So, alright, I want to show you guys something that I did with this figure to make it look a lot, I don't know, I kind of like it better, but I'll show you that in a minute. So what I've done is I've taken the Kylo Ren helmet off of the first release Kylo Ren helmet, and I'm going to take off the head on this guy and replace it with the Kylo Ren helmet just to see what that looked like. Yeah. So I'll start with heating up the head, Kylo Ren head. This is the only hair dryer I have to use for my customs. It was cheap, so yeah, you're probably not even gonna hear this. Probably put music over this. I just want to warm it up. Try this. So I took the head off camera because it's really hard to do behind the camera because you got to be very careful taking off the head so you don't rip the neck peg out because the actual neck part is very rubbery. Oh geez, that looks horrible right now. The paint doesn't look that bad in person between the neck peg and the actual joint, and does look like I scraped off a little bit of paint, or there was paint that got scraped off. But yeah, it looks fine when you have the head on. So let's heat the head off on the Kylo Ren figure. Or actually, we might be able to just put it on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to heat it up. So here's Kylo Ren with the head sculpt, or the head swap, and I just feel this figure makes it look a lot better. It makes the figure look a lot better. I mean, this unmasked head sculpt is really good, but I feel like they should have included this with the figure. I mean, there is the Walmart, I think it's Walmart, yeah, exclusive that they announced. That's basically this figure with both of these heads, but they're swappable, which I think should be good. But I don't feel like paying an extra $10 and waiting a few months to do it, so I just swapped the heads. Another thing about that is that cape on that one is cloth, where this one is plastic. Seems to be the focus of those exclusives. The most of them have cloth instead of where plastic are on the normal release figures. But yeah, I feel like it just looks so much better with the new lightsaber and the old Kylo Ren helmet, and the cape looks really good too. I think this is the best looking Kylo Ren figure from Hasbro yet. So Kylo Ren stands at about a little under 6.5 inches. Yeah, just about 6.5 inches, and I feel like that's a good scale. I did notice that he's a little bit taller than the Episode 7 Black Series one, but yeah, I feel like the height's pretty good. And here's Kylo Ren next to, spoiler alert, if you have not seen Episode 7 The Force Awakens yet, you might want to skip ahead a few seconds so you don't hear this. But yeah, here he is next to the Black Series Han Solo, also known as his dad. And I feel like this scale is pretty good on the two. I always felt like the Han Solo figure was a little too small, but I think it looks fine next to Kylo Ren. And here's Kylo Ren next to the Star Wars Black Series Rogue One Death Trooper and the Star Wars Black Series Walmart exclusive Scarif Stormtrooper. And I feel like the scale on these is pretty good. You probably wouldn't have them opposed next to each other, but I didn't have a First Order Stormtrooper on hand to put them next to, and it's about the same size, so I just thought, why not put them there? But yeah, I feel like the scale is pretty good. And here's Kylo Ren standing next to a standard Marvel Legends 6-inch Bucky Cap body mold. And of course, the Star Wars Black Series are a little out of scale, but there's really no point in having these scaled next to each other because these are comic. This is a comic body mold comic figure. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys the scale next to Marvel. So overall, I really like this figure. I think it's a really awesome figure. If you just do a few improvements, like switching out the head, but that's just my opinion, makes it even better, makes it look even better. But I think this is an overall really great figure, and I think you should get it. And I had a really fun time getting it because I went to Force Friday last night. Went to Toys R Us, got the T-shirt, and they were at my Toys R Us. They had none of the Black Series figures. It was so weird. Like we went there at opening time, at 12 o'clock, and they never got a case of any of the Black Series. So, Hasbro, why didn't you send my Toys R Us the Black Series? But then we went to a Target, and I found they had like waves of they had boxes of this wave. Like I saw. Like, there's probably, like, 5 boxes still there. And this was, like, at 12:30, so after everyone had already showed up and left, they still had, like, 5 Heras, 5 Thrawns, like, not, way more than 5 Thrawns, tons of Stormtroopers, tons of Darth Vader, tons of the Kylo Ren, Rey, and Luke. So I don't think this wave should be too hard to find if you have stores that carry a lot of the stock, like my Target was lucky enough to have. But yeah, this is a really great figure. So leave a like, comment, subscribe, and if you have a figure you want me to review, put it in the comments, and if I have the figure, I will review it, and if I don't, I'll try to get it if I can, but there's no guarantees that I will review it. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the review, and see you later.